we are gaveling into existence the Tuesday evening, June 28th meeting of Golden Speakers Toastmasters, Fairfield, Iowa, Washington, Iowa, and environs. The mission of our club is to do exactly what our club member Alessandra described the results has been for her, and that is to give every club member the opportunity to develop verbal communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth, which she indicated was recently of great value to her. Tonight's meeting is on the theme of the season of summer. We have a couple of pungent quotes arranged by our VP of Education for our edification. And it would be my pleasure now to turn the proceedings over to tonight's Toastmaster, Jean Symington Craig.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a moment here. Looks like we're getting a note from Nick. Some technical issue. It's not detecting his mic or speakers. I don't know if there's anything we can do there for that. We'll try to resolve. Please go ahead without me. Okay. All right. Well, welcome everybody. And it is our first meeting, I believe. No, last week was our first meeting of summer. So this is our second meeting of summer. And we just had some glorious weather. So I thought the theme of season of summer would be uppermost in our mind. It's something to celebrate. We'll go ahead, and we have a full agenda tonight. I'll go ahead and introduce our role players for the evening, starting with, well, let's start with Alex. Now, she's also our speaker. Alex, were you able to get a word for tonight?
Yes.
Okay, well, go ahead and tell us about your role.
Sure. Thanks, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and viewers at home. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listen carefully to their language use. I'll take notes of any proper language, as well as any outstanding words, thoughts, and phrases. And it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day, and I will put in the chat. The word of the day is sizzling, which means very hot, and as used in the sentence, the sizzling summer temperatures, or it can be also a very exciting or passionate meaning. That was the start of a sizzling affair. And I'll put my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. We're off to a sizzling start of our meeting tonight. Next, let's hear from our counter, Bob.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our viewers at home. Tonight, my role is counter, and I am going to catch filler words, pause words, crutches, so, but, you know, as well as double taps and restarts. Whenever I hear those things hit my ears, I'm going to give you the oi. That will be your cue that you need to clean it up and keep it smooth. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster. And I'll give my report to the meeting.
Thank you, Bob. Bob will also be our general evaluator later in the evening, as we will have two evaluators tonight. It looks like Nick might be connecting. He is our timer, so that is a critical role. Connecting to audio.
It's been connecting for the whole time he's been with us.
Oh, it has? Okay. Okay. Let's see.
Nick, I suggest that you reboot total reboot of your machine.
Just turn it off and start it over again. Turn it
Yeah.
on again.
Can I give you just a quick suggestion? I hope you're still hearing us. Right next to the microphone, there is a little arrow. So I think that Zoom did an update recently. See if you click on the arrow, see if your microphone is connected, is checked. Because that was happening to the doctor this week. And just clicked on it and it fixed.
In the meantime, I would suggest that we pick somebody else to be timer for Alex's speech.
Yeah, that's where we are. So how about we do this? I will test. Sorry, I will test. I will time. I do need to get, so give me 15 seconds. And back. Okay, puppy. Okay. All righty, I am ready to time. Let's go ahead and start with the main course for the evening, and that would be our prepared speech from Alex. I will mention, Alex, this is a 5 to 7 minute speech. So actually, I'll go ahead and give the roll. 5 minutes, I'll show the green. 6 minutes, I'll show the yellow. 7 minutes, I'll show the red. The table topics are 1 to 2 minute speeches. At 1 minute, I'll show the green. At 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes, I'll show the yellow. And at 2 minutes, I will show the red. And again, you have 30 seconds to finish up. The evaluators have basically 2 to 3 minutes. And I will show the green card at 2 minutes, 2.5 for the, it will be yellow, and then 3 will be red. I'm being chewed on. 3 minutes will be red, and then there'll be 30 seconds to finish up. I will be giving a report at the end of the meeting unless we can get Nick in here too. So why don't we go ahead and start with hearing from our evaluator for Alex.
Gene, Alex has a question, it looks like.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, Jean, I just wanted to bring to your attention that I sent my introduction to your email a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Wanted to let you know.
Okay. Dan, why don't you go ahead and talk about the objectives for Alex tonight?
Okay. Tonight, Alex is doing the project in Presentation Mastery, which is called, the path is Presentation Mastery. The project itself is called Researching and Presenting. The title of her speech is TM and the Benefits of Practice. On the evaluation form, it indicates that the purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized and well-researched speech on any topic. It says in the notes to the evaluator, they may be speaking about a new topic or a known topic on a deeper level. So we're looking forward to hearing this speech from Alex, TM and the Benefits of Practice. Now for the introduction, I'll send it back to Jean, the Toastmaster.
And this, by the way, is part of a project that Alex is working on for her training. And so we always like it when if there's something that you're working on for, outside life, and it can be fit into a Toastmaster project and you can practice it and get feedback, that's always a good thing. So that's where we are with that. Alex was born in Brazil, but has been living in the US for almost 20 years. She recently moved from South Florida to Fairfield, Iowa to conclude her master's in Ayurveda and integrative medicine. This is her first year at Toastmasters, and she is hoping to improve her presentation skills and feel more comfortable when delivering a speech or talking in public. Please help me warmly welcome Alex.
Thanks, everyone. My name is Alessandra Givens, and I'm training to become a teacher of Transcendental Meditation Technique. And tonight, I'll be practicing my personal introductory talk. So we'll briefly talk about Transcendental Meditation, but we'll put emphasis on the benefits of practicing Transcendental Meditation and the studies and researches that were conducted in this area. So I'll start by sharing my screen. Can you see my screen? Give me the thumbs up. Okay.
Yes, very good.
So what is Transcendental Meditation? To help understand the Transcendental Meditation technique, we can compare our mind to the ocean, where it's active in the surface and quiet and peaceful in its depths. With the regular practice of Transcendental Meditation, we experience the mind settling to finer and finer states of thoughts towards the source of thoughts, which is known as our total inner potential of pure consciousness. It's like diving deeply beneath the active waves of the surface of the ocean and experiencing the quiet depths of the ocean. This technique was introduced by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi when he introduced internationally in the late 1950s to help reduce suffering in the world. In addition to teaching Transcendental Meditation, Maharishi has founded schools and universities, developed programs, authored many books, all with the purpose of raising life to its full potential. The practice of Transcendental Meditation is simple, natural, and effortless. It's easy to learn. It's enjoyable and relaxing. It's practiced sitting comfortably for 15 to 20 minutes twice a day and does not require any changes in lifestyles, or belief. This is a picture of a family practicing Transcendental Meditation together. Now let's take a look on the benefits that practicing Transcendental Meditation brings in these three areas of daily life: development of brain and mental abilities, improved health, and benefits for the whole society. Transcendental Meditation produces a unique type of brain functioning that is showing exceptional orderliness when measured by an EEG. This orderliness is called EEG coherence. This printout here is an EEG recording that was done during the practice of a Transcendental Meditation. And the lines that shows going up and down, those are brainwave activities that were measured in different areas of the brain. As you can see, the front, the center of the brain, and back of the brain. As you can see, this line shows some similarities, which shows that they are all with the same frequency, even though they are in different areas of the brain. This shows that the brain is functioning in an orderly and coherent way. This brings many benefits to our and this has been found consistently in people who practice transcendental meditation. So this is a new study in this area of mental abilities. Maharishi always says that rest and activity are the steps of progress. So in this study shows that human brain uses short rest periods to strengthen memory. Scientists found that if you are trying to learn something new or you're trying to memorize, and every so often you give 10 seconds pause and you do nothing during that pause, that they measure that in the pause, we have 10 times greater neural activation, which is very beneficial in the process of learning and memorizing. This just proves that giving rest periods to the brain, it's very beneficial. So we've just seen the benefits of transcendental meditation in the brain and mental abilities. So let's take a look on how transcendental meditation can help to improve health. When the mind settles down during the practice of transcendental meditation, the body gains deep rest. And there's a unique quality on this deep rest, which helps to dissolve deep stress in a very natural and efficient way. This deep rest also helps to reduce anxiety, as you can see here in this chart. Trait anxiety refers to an ongoing experience of anxiety. And in this meta-analysis, which is a combination of different studies, shows that transcendental meditation, which is the blue bar on the top, it's very effective in reducing trait anxiety as compared to other types or other techniques. So we've seen how transcendental meditation benefits the individual. So let's take a look at how it can benefit the society as a whole. Because what we are inside influences everyone and everything around us. So we naturally radiate the qualities of our thoughts and our emotions. So once we start practicing transcendental meditation, naturally, we feel an inner peace, an experience of happiness, of calmness, and naturally, we start radiating this out, and the people around us can benefit, and also our environment, our near environment. So we've seen that one simple technique can benefit many aspects in our life. As Maharishi says, water the root to enjoy the fruit. Just as watering the roots of a tree helps to nourish the trunks and the branches and the leaves, fruits, and flowers, practicing transcendental meditation can benefit our life in many aspects. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Alex. Let's go ahead. I will time a 2-minute silence so we can send some feedback to Alex in the chat. Our next phase would be our evaluation. Unless, Dan, would you like to wait a bit and we can go on to table topics? No, we need to unmute you.
Why don't you give me some more time? So go ahead and move to table topics.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, we also have a gap here for table topics. I'm going to, since poor Nick is so close and yet so far, I am thinking, Bob, what would you think about, did you see the chat where he put in some questions?
I'm looking.
Nick, in trying to cover his role, he went ahead and put in all of the questions, not quite as impromptu. I'm thinking if you would be willing to, what we could do is we could ask for a volunteer and then have them say which number they'd like to do, and then
I'm
go
not
from there.
seeing his, I'd be happy to take over. I'm just not seeing it.
You don't see it backing up?
Did he just send them to you, Jean?
Oh, so nobody else saw them either? Okay. Okay, all right, well, okay, alternate plan B, because we could still do impromptu.
Okay.
I feel like, let me see, how many hats am I wearing? I'm wearing timer. We can do table topics. I'll use his questions. And I think I could do that. Okay, so let's do that, because I like the idea of being
Yeah, I can
impromptu.
be
Yes,
the timer if you need.
you what?
I can be the timer if you need.
Maybe that would be good. Maybe that would be good. Now that you're past your speech,
Mhm.
put you to work.
Yeah,
Put you to work. If you can still do the grammarian role, it's a little tricky.
I think I can do it.
Okay. All right, switching hats. We're over to table topics. And our theme is summertime. Do we have any volunteers?
I'll venture
I
out.
see Bob's got his hand raised. Let's see here. Let me get back to my agenda. There we go. Okay, good.
Also, before you ask me the question, I've got my other computer up and going. So if you would like to send some questions over to me, I can ask some questions also.
I think it's just, thank you for that, Bob. I think it's just going to be easy just to whip through these, because we're actually a little bit behind time, I think.
Okay. All right.
But thank you for that. So, all right. So Bob, 1 through 6.
We'll go 6 this time.
Okay. Now, let me mention too, Bob. So you're also evaluating the evaluator, our
Yes.
table topics evaluator later. Okay. So number 6 is, what is your favorite summer sport? What is your favorite summer sport? I think it's a but anyway.
When I was a young man, my favorite summer sport was going swimming. I used to like dive off the diving board, do backflips, do all the big splash, cannonballs, what have you. Until one time, I was going to do a flip and I didn't make it all the way through, and I went bang right on my back, splat me. And I was just, oh, it was hurting unit. And then my kind of changed a little bit for summer sports. I like going to the pool, what have you. However, motorcycles. I used to ride motorcycles when I was young, got in a lot of wrecks, kind of did away with them for a while, but then I came back to them, obviously, which a lot of you know. And now I just got this itch. I just want to get out there and ride. I keep a big picture right in front of me. I could stare at it all day long for my summer rides. I'm always tweaking it. I put new bags on it, hard bags. I put a new windshield with a new stereo, and it's Bluetooth, so I can listen to anything I want to as I'm driving down the road. And when you see this guy like myself riding, and I got a big smile on my face, yeah, I'm the poster child for wanting to ride a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, things do happen, and you end up going motor hiking sometimes. And simple what motor hiking is when your motorcycle breaks down, you go hiking. That's what motor hiking. And I've had that a few times. All in all, though, it's just so much fun. I must share one experience, though. We're heading down the road and a thunderstorm, and most people will pull off. I decided to ride through. And when I got into my trip, not only was I soaking wet, but my boots were completely full of water. So I took it off, went, shh, and dumped it out.
Okay, very good. Who'd like to go next? Dum, 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 dum. Is that Art? Okay, Art. Okay. This is a reminder, you're on mute. So you can do 1 through 5. You're on mute though, Art. You can hold up fingers if you want.
I didn't realize.
So 1 through 5.
So I'll take 5.
Oh, Art. When it comes to summer fashion, what is important to you? Yay.
Thank you for the question, Madam Topics Master. When it comes to summer fashion, my opinions are pretty similar to those of my dad. My dad told me once on the subject of looking at other ladies, he said, I'm going to be looking at women until they're patting dirt on my face. What's important to me in summer fashions is what the women decide to wear. I could care less about fashion for myself, but I enjoy looking at what the ladies try to get away with or do get away with. I was in Mexico on the Riviera Maya this past week, and I saw things that pass for bathing suits that are unbelievable.
Mhm.
The Latino women have a different concept of what constitutes covering up. And I enjoyed looking just as much as I ever did. And I think that's the chief benefit of fashion, in my opinion, is that they keep stretching the limits beyond boundaries. And it's a competition among them to see who can get away with the least.
Mhm.
Back to you, Madam Topics Master.
Okay. Another volunteer. Dan. All right, 1 through 4.
3.
Do you like to camp in the summer? Why or why not?
Madam Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. My answer to the question, do you like to camp in the summer, is yes and no. The yes part is the theory. It really sounds like a great idea to get out and spend some time in nature, breathe that fresh air, see wonderful new vistas, et cetera, et cetera. But the no part is based on my experience of actually trying it and finding out that I'm not really a very good camper. I remember in one instance trying to go camping near Vail, Colorado, and it involved carrying the tent and various heavy things on a hike, continually uphill for
Wait.
a number of hours. And the glory of the environment faded pretty darn quickly. As my shoulders got sore, I was out of breath. We finally got there and I just sort of collapsed. And I think more often than not, when I've done the outdoor experience of camping, it's been a collision between what I thought would be really terrific and what actually happened to me. I found out that I'm not a camper, I'm a day hiker. So I want to go walk on the trails, see the beautiful trees, the wildlife, the wind through my hair, the flowing waterfalls, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'm going to go back and have a hot shower and a comfortable bed and some good food. So I found that that's where my limits are. Thanks for the question.
Good. Okay, we still have more time. All right. Another volunteer, perhaps? Alex. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 4.
Let's go with number 1.
Number 1. What is your favorite summer treat? Bob, could you time Alex maybe while you're there?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks,
Okay.
Madam Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and viewers at home. My favorite summer treat, differently than what Dan experienced, would be camping. Every opportunity I have, I like to go camping. Of course, over the years, I learned my lesson, especially leaving South Florida, not to go camping in the very hot summertime in South Florida. But anywhere else, that's what I would prefer to do. And for that reason, actually, I even got an RV, a 1986 camper, so I could continue to camp on the summertime in Florida. But my favorite things to do camping, and any style of camping, even primitive camping was one of my favorites. There is a spot in Florida, in South Florida, called Dry Tortugas, which is an island which is two hours from Key West. And to camp there is primitive camping, so you have to bring all your gear, your water, and everything. But it's such a beautiful place. It's an island in the middle of nowhere, so the silence there. Once the boat leaves with the tourists that come visit during the day, once the boat leaves, you are left with the most incredible silence. The nature is so alive there. And you can do your fire in the beach and have some tea, have some mate, have some wine. It's one of my favorite things to do in the summertime. Thank you. Thank you, Bob, for all the creative ways.
Yeah, great color improvising.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we still have a little more time. Is everybody gone except me? I think so. Okay. All right. All right, well, how about I take one? Of course, it's not quite as impromptu, but it'll fill in the gap. Here's a question. When I think of old time summers, a picture of people sitting on their front porch comes to mind. Is there a version of, quote, relaxing on your front porch, quote, in our modern society? Thank you for that question. Actually, I don't know that I can make any general statements about our modern society at this point because we are such a diverse group, even just in the US, that I don't know that I can make a general summary statement. I can say for myself that as long as I have some protection from insects is a big deal for me. I love sitting out, and particularly with a good book on a porch. We actually in 2020 built a porch on our front part of our house. We had a long open porch side from end to end, and we enclosed half of it. We put my mom's wicker furniture that I had inherited. No, I guess that was 2021 is when we built that because my mom died at the end of 2020. But I knew that furniture was coming. I said, Dan, we're going to have to build something to put that furniture in. And I told my mom, we're going to have to build something for that. But I love her furniture. And that's what we did. Now we have a beautiful, solid porch with windows and screens and comfortable furniture, beautiful, lush, luxuriant foliage that we can look at out the windows. I love sitting on that porch with a book, Kindle or page turner, whichever one it is, and just having that quiet, expanded experience on the porch. That's very relaxing to me. I just would recommend it if you can find a porch, particularly again, given Iowa insects. You got to make sure you're not squirming and scratching when you're sitting on the porch. But I highly recommend that activity or non-activity. Okay. All righty. Let's see. Yes, I think let's see, 8:27. Table hacks, my timer, tables evaluator. I think we probably would be safe to just go ahead and wrap that up. So that's what we'll do. So Madam Timer, which of our table topics speakers qualified tonight?
All of our speakers qualified tonight.
Okay. So as Toastmaster, you can send me a note, table topics, and your selection. I'm trying to not go up on the ends of my sentences. It is creeping in again. Okay. Dan, are you maybe we should, let's see, who would we like to have Art's our table topics evaluator. Dan is our beach evaluator. Art, would you like to go?
I can go.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead with, since they're fresh, and then Dan, we can finish up there with that. So I'll go ahead and welcome our table topics evaluator, Art Atkinson.
Thank you, Madam Topics Master, Madam Toastmaster. Bob covered the question, what was your favorite summer sport? And he took a while to get to the motorcycle theme, which was his main discussion. He gave us a colorful description of his youthful swimming and diving love. But when he really got into it, it was it was motorcycles and doing a road trip. It was a colorful personal stories. He introduced the word motor hiking, talking about breakdowns on the bike. He effectively had 3 topics. One was swimming, one was his love of motorcycle road trips. And the third topic was storms and the strategy of staying out of them or driving through them anyway, pushing through. My suggestion would have been to scratch the storming and keep it to 2 topics, swimming and motorcycling. Dan spoke about the theory versus practice of camping and came down firmly on the side of he's a day hiker dedicated to hiking and enjoying the vistas and being home for a hot shower and a comfortable bed. My suggestion would be he talked about one hike in the Vale area, uphill, not enjoying the grand vistas. I would suggest that he should have or could have told us what was the outcome on that adventure. The third speaker I evaluated was Jean. Was there any analog to the old-fashioned custom of sitting out on the porch in the evening? And she said, yes, there is. It involves sitting with a good book in a well-screened, insect-protected porch. At least in Iowa, you gotta do that. And I don't have a suggestion for her because she's absolutely correct about both features, and we do it ourselves. We have a screened-in cabin. We sit out and enjoy in the evenings. The only thing is it's in back, not in front. But she's dead on about the need for insect protection. Don't have a suggestion there. That would be relaying false information if I suggested it in that respect. Back to you, Madam Topics Master.
Art, we were giving you 3 to 4 minutes. Did you get everybody? Did you get everybody?
Well, I did Bob, Dan, you. Those are the
Alex. And Alex? Did you do Alex?
Oh, yes, Alex, I did. Her favorite treat, camping. She actually got an RV and extolled the beauty of Dry Tortuga. My suggestion would be, you said that camping was great except not during the hot South Florida summer. But my suggestion would have been fleshing that out. So why is it that camping out in a hot Florida summer evening is a bad idea? Is it the lack of air conditioning can attend. It would just have filled out that. Otherwise, it's a declaration without a justification. Back to you, Madam Topics Master.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Art. Very good. Let's go ahead and hear from our other evaluator this evening, and that would be Dan evaluating Alex's speech. TM and the benefits of practice.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Alex. I enjoyed Alex's presentation tonight. I remember many moons ago when I was trying to come up with my TM introductory lecture. It's not easy. There's so much material to distill down. So I was impressed with the way that you had a very good, compact presentation that hit all the high points. And in terms of the evaluation format, ask what you excelled at. And I'd say that was a nice, smooth presentation of those PowerPoint slides. And there was a good overview of the TM research in just a short time. Something you might want to work on related to giving a PowerPoint presentation is vocal variety. Your voice is pleasant, it's energetic, a lot of good qualities, but there's a tendency when giving a series of slides to just continue with that same voice. I would suggest that what you might want to work on is to use a little vocal variety. In particular, I think you might want to speak a little faster at some points, a little slower at some points, try a pause or two. Just give some variety to work in with the PowerPoint. And in terms of challenging yourself, it's an interesting project because the purpose of the project, the way it was stated, was that this is a project allowing you to learn or review basic research methods. And in this case, you were presenting a kind of a canned PowerPoint project, it appeared. I did note that the various slides noted the source of the information. That was good. But if, in order to challenge yourself, just one second. Jean, mute your mic, please. I'm getting an echo.
Okay.
In order to challenge yourself, you might want to, if you gave this project again, you might want to add some additional elements to your presentation instead of just the canned PowerPoint that you gave, which was excellent on its own. You might also want to give various other types of research. For example, you could quote a study or a portion of a book about TM. You might talk about a magazine article. You could note that you heard certain types of information about TM or TM research in a TV interview. So that would be my main suggestion for challenging yourself in giving this project the way that the purpose of it was laid out. But I'll circle back and say that it was very nicely done. You have a good presentation to give for your TM intro lecture. Good for you. That's a lot to come up with. And I think you're going to do very well. So congratulations.
Thank you so
All right. Thank you, Dan. I'm thinking, Alex, were you timing both evaluators?
I was timing both evaluators. I gave Dan the same amount of time. Was that right? Or it should be 2 to 3 minutes?
He's usually he should be 2 to 3.
2 to 3, okay. So in that case, Art qualified.
Okay.
I was misled by the timer.
Sure.
The evaluations, and I said this at the beginning, so I think we need to make an exception. I did give the timing requirements 2 to 3, 2, 2.5, 3. And I'll just say that we have some flexibility around table topics evaluation because we just never know quite how many they're going to be and what's happening. So I sent Alex a message, let's give Art 3 to 4 because he had 4 people. And so, all right. So I think if it's all right, we'll go ahead and leave Dan in the mix. And we will go ahead then and send me your votes for best evaluator. And that would be Art and Dan. In the meantime, we can move on to our general evaluator. Let our general evaluator take over. Bob, you have the agenda up so you can lead us through the reports and everything.
Yes, I can.
I know I've got you doing a bunch of stuff over there. Okay. Okay.
So, do you want I don't have my thing.
Yeah, we're at let's do the reports.
The report.
So it could be timer and then grammarian and then counter and then joker and then your report on the evaluators.
All right. Unfortunately, my computer just shut down on me. So
Okay.
I'm unable to pull it up.
Okay. How about I'll cue you. So
Okay.
timer.
Okay.
Timer.
So, Madam Timer, who qualified today for the evaluator? Or did they qualify? I guess this question should be.
Just we want the times now, so she just has to read the times. That's where we are.
Did you read the times to us? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters. The timers report for the table topics, Bob did 2 minutes and 25 seconds, Art 1 minute and 57, Dan 2 minutes and 6 seconds, Jean 2 minutes and 27 seconds, Alex 2 minutes and 10 seconds. For the evaluations, Art did in 4 minutes and Dan 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Jean, I don't have my time.
Yes, 6 minutes and 10 seconds.
Thank you.
Okay, Bob.
Sure.
Grammarian.
Now we're going to the grammarian this evening. Okay, I'm pulling it up now.
Which is me again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters. We had a very fun table topics. I picked some of the interesting points here. Bob, he started when I was a young man. I really like that. He also say, I really like when he says, what have you, to mean things like that, what have you. So that was interesting. And then he said motor hiking, which I thought that was very interesting because of his latest experience with his bike. That was very nice. Art, I couldn't understand if it was like, he said that his father gave, my God, the word just skipped my mind.
Advice.
Advice, thank you. That he would be looking at the ladies until patting dirt on my face. Is that patting? Is that correct?
Yeah.
I don't understand if that's the word, but I thought that was cool. And then he said the Latino women have a different concept about covering up. I agree with that, Art. And he says that the chief benefit of fashion is to, let me see, I can stretch the limits beyond boundaries. I really like that. Dan was very good phrases too. He said he realized that he's not a very good camper. He's a day hiker. That's very good. He said that in the moment that he was experiencing some trouble hiking or camping, he said the glory of the environment just faded away quickly. I really liked that. And he said, I got there and collapsed. So that was very good. And he said, I really like this phrase too, the collision between what I thought and what I experienced. That was very nice. And
What?
Jean says, see, I really like that she actually planned to build a porch to have her mother's furniture in the house. So that was very sweet. And she used the word lush. And did you say luxuriant or
Luxuriant.
Yeah, that was the first time that I heard, so I wasn't sure. And then she said that is a quite expanded experience to sit on the porch with a book in her hand. She highly recommends. So this is my report for the grammarian. Jean used the word of the day once. Thank you.
Okay. Bob, our counter is you.
Our counter is me. Alex, for her speech, she had 4 ahs, 2 so's, and 4 repeats, or double taps. She started over like 4 different times. Art, he was clean. Dan had a and strung it together. He also had 2 so's. Alex, when she did her table topics, she had a and a so. And Jean, when she did hers, she had 1 but. And when Alex gave her, observation for the thing just a moment ago, you had 2 ahs, 2 ums, and you had a string and you had 2 of those. And that is my on counter report.
Okay.
Right
now, the joke master, and that's me.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so I'll let you introduce me. I'm taking all the thunder away. This is me being like, joke master, Jean. Okay, now you go.
All right. Now we're going to have our famous joke master of the evening. This is Jean Symington Craig. Yay, give it up, give it up.
Okay. Okay, these are some just riddles. And I think I'm wondering if Alex has already seen these because I found one that Alex gave just a couple of weeks ago. So anyway, we'll see. What is brown, hairy, and wears sunglasses? A coconut on vacation.
Oh.
What kind of tree fits in your hand?
A palm tree.
Palm tree. Yes, very good. How do we know that the ocean is friendly?
It waves all the time.
It waves. Yes, you guys are good. What do you do if you get rejected at the sunscreen company? Reapply.
Yeah.
How do you prevent a summer cold? Catch it in winter. Where do sheep go on vacation? The Bahamas. Why don't oysters share their pearls?
Oh no.
Because they're shellfish.
Oh.
Well, that's good.
So you have to stop me here. What does the sun drink out of? Sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What is the difference between a piano and a fish?
You can tune a fish, but you can't tune a piano. Or just,
Yes.
yeah.
How did you know that? That's a complicated one.
Yeah, it's an old Joel Walsh album back in the 70s. And
Oh.
this is cover of his album.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
tune a fish, but you can't tune a piano, or you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. I don't remember how it goes, but yeah, that's what I remember.
Okay. So why do fish swim in salt water? Because pepper makes them sneeze.
Oh,
No.
Okay, I think we'll finish on that phase.
When is an airplane not an airplane?
No, Art, you're jumping in here. If Art gets to say some, I can say more then.
Okay.
All right, Art. All right, yeah, you since you stuck your foot in there, what is it? When is an airplane not an airplane?
That's correct. That's the question.
Okay, tell us. Anyone have an answer?
When it's taxiing.
When is
When
what?
it's taxiing.
Taxiing.
Taxing. Yes.
Taxiing. Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and so now, Bob, this is your
general evaluation for
Yeah.
the tabletop.
this is a 3 to 4 minute one if you want it that long.
I think I can keep it 2 to 3, actually.
Mhm. Okay.
I'll say that. Alex going to time me?
Yeah. I'll time you too.
Okay. All right.
I'm here. Yeah, I can time here.
Okay.
Did we say what is the time? 2 to 3?
He's just going to do 2 to 3. So he's only got 2 evaluators, so that's good. Okay.
All right. My first one will be Art. Art started off, he gave a colorful breakdown of what was spoke. Now this is different, unusual for Art, because usually Art, he kind of breaks down what's going on when the speeches, but Art stuck more to the content. He reiterated, he said the content over and over again. One thing Art didn't know, he gave a good suggestion. Also, then for when it came to Dan, when he gave the thing, Dan, he gave a theory versus practice. I wonder what that was about. He gave suggestions about how it was, and then he gave Jean covered it all at the table. He went over to Alex, came back to Alex, and he spoke about the RV that Alex had, and he did give a suggestion on the hot summer, what the difference was, that why it wasn't a good idea to go out in the hot summer. And had very good notes on that. Dan, he started out with praise, and he bought back with memories about himself. For when he was given Alex's thing, it brought own memories for him. He gave a suggestion. Alex might have some good vocal variety. My only suggestion with Dan would be on that was maybe give an example, since you know what Alex is talking about, how you would give that a vocal variety. The next thing is Dan challenged he had additional elements, is what he was giving more examples to Alex. And he did give it one example by TV and by book. So that was great for Dan's part. And I like the way Dan closed. he came back and he lifted Alice back up after he gave her a few suggestions and gave her more of encouragement. That was a good thing that Dan did. My only suggestion is on Dan, as I realize it's Alex's speech, but maybe I already said it once, maybe just kind of maybe slip in something as far as your suggestion on the TM that would bring more light to what Alex already shared. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. You're passing it back to me as the Toastmaster. We're just about almost done here. We do want to have our awards for the evening. We do want to have our awards for the evening.
Yes.
Down. Okay.
Yes.
My new project. Let's have a drum roll for, we'll start with the best evaluator. And it turns out to be Dan tonight. That's a pretty cute, celebratory thing you're doing, Dan, sort of a razzmatazz thing. All right. Now, I just want to say on the table topics, something happened that I have just not seen before, is that everybody voted for everybody else. So we just, if there's a tie or something, then the table topics, the Toastmaster picks. But I just felt like we're all equal, pretty much. So I'm just going to say I'm going to do something very different, which is I'm just going to show the ribbon, and then we can all just cheer and congratulate ourselves. Okay, so here we go. Yay! 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 Woohoo! Okay. And with that, very good job. Before we send everybody out to continue enjoying their summer, now that it's official. Oh, Dan is waving his finger.
Best speaker?
Oh, you caught me. You caught me. I'm in the middle of a chigger infestation on my body. I can barely stand it, not sleeping. So when I talk about insects, it really, there's a reason, but it also messes with my brain because I'm in a low torture situation here. All right, but enough about me. Tonight we had our best speaker, Alex Gibbons. And we're wishing her the very, very best as she continues on her training to be able to present as she would like, with confidence and persuasiveness and connection with whoever she's speaking with. So very, very good. With that, I'll turn it back to our president, Art.
It was delightful having a prepared speech, especially one this good. The next meeting this is the last meeting of this Toastmaster year. Next Tuesday is the first meeting of the reorganized club with Bob as president and the rest of us in new roles. This has been a good year of becoming close with each other, becoming friends, welcoming excellent new members into the club. I'm pleased that we're ending on such a high note. Don't have any other cogent thing to say. Yes, Jean.
Next week is the first Wednesday of the month. Do we want to have our officer meeting then? And for Alex, particularly Alex, we have our officer meeting. We meet once a month, and it's the first Wednesday of the month from 8 to 9 is kind of what the block out is. If we finish early, then we finish early.
We use the same link.
Yeah.
So it's
We'll
on, it's on a Wednesday, right?
It's on the first Wednesday is what we try to do.
From 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's what to use. And sometimes we just end up enjoying each other a little bit towards the end, so it ends up lasting that long. I will share with the group that Alex said that she enjoyed the training on Saturday. I know Bob was there, and we were all, Dan and I were there. Art was getting married. So, but that's something we could share a little bit about too, because Dan and I have been to, and Art too, have been to a lot of trainings, and this was something new for you guys. And I know Bob contributed comments, and anyway, but that's the deal. Next Wednesday. Yeah. Next Wednesday. Is that all right with you, Art? Well, actually, Art's not, is that all right with you, Bob?
Yes.
Correct.
And our new VPE, Dan, will be taking the helm. And
Speaking of which, as soon as Art adjourns the meeting, I'll ask about future speeches.
okay. Art, you want to adjourn then? And we can,
Yes, I declare this meeting complete and adjourn to Tuesday, the
5th.
5th of July.